Hi guys, welcome to my channel. It's really nice having you guys here. So guys, I witnessed something recently, and I won't lie, when I saw that thing, it broke my heart. And I just feel the need to share and maybe encourage somebody out there. So I went out one day and we're shopping. It was like a mall, right? And we're all buying, the usual way a mall is supposed to be like, right? And there were a lot of persons there, people were buying, and so many things were going on. And guys, all of a sudden, we're just hearing some noise, at the other side of the supermarket, of the mall, right? And we're all wondering what's going on, why, what exactly is happening. So for some reason, the noise started drawing closer to where the crowd were, where people were lining up to pay. So it's like we were already lining up, we're about to pay, and the noise was drawing closer to where we were. And the next thing we saw is this guy was shouting at this woman, and he was screaming at the top of his voice. You can't be doing that. You are just senseless. I don't understand what exactly is wrong with you. I keep saying this thing over and over again, and you keep doing the same thing. Why? Is it that you are deaf? Is it that you do not understand what guys, he was shouting, no, Egbami. So this guy was shouting at this lady, guys, and literally at the top of his voice. And this lady, all she did was she just kept quiet. Her face was down, and the guy was just talking over her. Now, after some time, right, it became obvious that we were all staring at him, right, trying to understand, okay, when he was going on, why are you shouting, and before we knew it, he reached out his hand, to take the lady's hand. And then, the lady gently looked up. She gave her his hands. He grabbed it, literally yanked it in that sense, and they walked away. They walked out of the place. And, people were muttering and they were like, oh, hey, I wonder what's, and everything. But for me, I was genuinely concerned for this lady. Because I'm like, if he can do that to her in public, then what would he be doing to her in private? Guys, that one was just, for me, it was the height of it. And I felt so hurt in my heart for this lady, and that's actually just what inspired me to have this conversation and just share with you guys. Because that for me just screams toxic relationship. Bam, bam, toxic relationship. The truth is, we are not in their house, so we don't know what's happening. We don't know what could have been going on. But I still feel like there is no excuse for the man to be yelling at her in that manner. And the fact that she did not respond, she did not react, she did not say anything. This lady was quiet the entire time. Really, it gets me worried for her as to what exactly she might actually be going through indoors. Because if that is happening outdoors, guys, indoors, big question mark. So guys, a toxic relationship, I would say, is one where your well-being is threatened, period. Whether your mental well-being, whether your physical well-being, whether your emotional well-being, whether your spiritual well-being, once they are threatened, as far as I'm concerned, it is a toxic relationship where you constantly feel demeaned, you don't feel supported, you just feel like you are always giving and giving and giving, and you're not getting a return. You are always the one to blame. There's never any form of appreciation. You literally just feel alone in the relationship. You feel drained most of the time. When you spend time with this person, you feel drained. If you have any dreams or ideas, these people have a way of just shutting you down and cutting you out, or they don't support you with your dreams or your aspirations, and you are just on your own, right? And yet there's demand from their part. They still expect you to show up for them. They still expect you to support them. They still expect you to spend time with them. But when you need it, right, for the things that are your own need, they are never there to provide that for you, or to give you that support, or to make you feel like you actually matter. There's a problem. There is a problem. So I know of someone back in the university, who actually was in a toxic relationship, and it's between a guy and a girl. Then and now I just want need to put it out there, right? Because there's this generic notion that, oh, when a relationship is toxic, maybe it's the guy that is the toxic person. That might actually be like a popular notion. But I mean, in this scenario, I'm actually painting the lady was the one that was toxic. So anybody in the relationship can actually be toxic, right? And you know, this in this scenario I'm trying to paint, there's nothing that this guy ever did for this lady that was ever appreciated. This guy was actually interested in marrying her. They were in their final year at the time, and he was interested in getting married to this girl, and you know, he was serious about her. This guy was one that was paying for the house that she was living in school. He was the one that, you know, he supported her as well with school fees. He had like a mini business that he was doing. He was also a student, but he had a business that he was running. He was doing printing, you know, all these projects that people do in school back then, the hard copy. He was doing typing, you know, so he had that little mini business that he was doing by the side. So he was raising some money and was actually supporting this lady. But for some reason, this lady was never appreciative. She was always bringing him down. You know, at a point when they had their issues, she told him straight up that, you think I can marry somebody like you? Oga, I can't. Oh, that are just, you know, how much money are you even making? But you know, I'm like, Egbami, it's not as if you're even working. This guy is still in school. You're also in school. You're both in 400 level, but even has a side hustle. But for some reason, she just felt very superior to him. She looked down on him a lot, and they always had clashes. They always had issues, and you know, and at a point, guys, this guy was very frustrated. There are days you see him in one corner somewhere, he's just sad, he's crying his eyes out because of this lady. And to the point where eventually he saw her walking out of male's hostel on campus. Then she was walking out from a male hostel and with a guy, walking out from the hostel with a guy, another guy. And then, you know, that thing really hurt him. Eventually, when they met, he asked her some questions, you know, but she was just like, who cares, and everything like that. And she's like, you know what, in fact, I'm even tired of this relationship. You are too sensitive. You are way too sensitive for my liking. I cannot deal. And she left. Now, this thing affected the guy so much that, you know, he was really hurt. He was very sad. He didn't even know how to move on or move past it, you know, but eventually they went their separate ways. And me, I don't really know the end of the gist, but I mean, I shall know that they broke up at the end of the day. Now, when I look at those types of scenarios and I see those types of things happening, in all fairness, I'm not going to lie, it breaks my heart and it makes me feel really sad, because being in a toxic relationship, it really drains you. It affects your self-esteem. It affects your emotions. You know, it just takes away from that plan that you have for your life, or even the plan that God also wants for your life. God also doesn't want us to be in those types of relationships. And mind you, toxic relationship is not only dating relationship. It can even be friends, like just normal platonic friendships. There are certain people that are in your life that you might need to think twice and like, am I really sure that I still want this person to remain in my life? Am I really sure that this person is even adding any value to me? If they bring out the bad side of you, for example, all of a sudden you are finding out now that you're very gossipy, you are always sitting down doing church all over the place, which is something that probably you were not doing before, or you have plans to go to church or to go for a course or something, and these people are the ones advising you to spend the money you have for your course on some frivolities, or instead of going for that program you want to go for, they're inviting you out, and they are not people that have the same values as you. They are not working towards achieving the same things as you. They are not looking to develop themselves or uplift themselves or be better versions of themselves. My dear, you need to stand up and run. Stand up and run. At the end of the day, guys, those types of relationships are not good for us. Whether it is relationship that is supposed to lead up to marriage, maybe romantic relationship or a platonic friendship, in as much as it is taken away from you, it is making you feel demeaning, it's making you feel unsupported, they are talking down on you, you just feel like you are always the problem. Where they're always making you feel like you're always the problem, then you need to find a way to leave on time, majorly because of your mind. Your mental health is very important. Your mental health is very important. Once that part is affected, it affects other areas of your life. So if you are in those types of situations or circumstances, I would say that you should take a walk. In all fairness, take a walk, okay? Have a conversation with the person, let them understand where you're coming from, and please take a walk. It is not ideal if you are, because a relationship has to be both parties. It's just like an analogy that, I heard somewhere when I was listening to a message where A load that is supposed to be for two people, if one person is the one carrying it, that person's neck is going to be affected and the person will not be able to bear it. And it's just so unfair for one party in a relationship to be treating the other party in such a way that, you know, they feel like they don't matter, right? So what I will advise anybody in that kind of situation is, when you take a walk, you don't need it. You need happiness, you need joy, you need something that can bring sunshine to your life. I'm walking on sunshine, oh. And for people that, you know, go into those types of relationships or are in those types of relationship and eventually are able to make it out, because sometimes it's also very difficult for those type of people, because sometimes you can be based on their temperament. So for example, now maybe the person is a melancholy and the person finds it very difficult to talk, unlike, you know, sanguines and cholerics that are out there, right? I'll talk about that, you know, in another video. But maybe it's a personality type of the person, and the person finds it very difficult to, they don't want to hurt the other person, you know, so they prefer to walk on eggshells. And maybe you need to find someone that you can talk to, that you can confide in, that can advise you and help you to come out of those situations, you know, because at the end of the day, you need to be okay for yourself, you need to be okay for your mind. There are generations, there are people depending on you. You might not know. You have parents, you have siblings, you have people that you're working with, you're going to get married one day, you're going to have children. If you allow yourself to be broken, this past experience that you have, by the time you eventually find the right person, if you don't deal with it or manage it properly, it's going to carry into that relationship and affect the new relationship. And one thing I will even advise is that once a person is able to come out of that kind of relationship, don't enter into a new one immediately. I mean, guys, I'm just sharing my opinion here. I'm really open to hearing from you guys to know what you guys think as well. But I feel like anybody that comes out of a toxic relationship should not go into a new relationship immediately, right? You need to take some time for yourself to heal, like really, really heal. I know there's some people that love love. I know some people they love love. Like everybody, I must have a boyfriend. I must marry. This is my life mission. This is my life goal. I want to marry. I want to love. I want to love. Once a person comes out of that kind of relationship where your mind has been tampered with, I will not advise going into a new relationship immediately. You need to take out some time to heal. You need to take out some time to work on your mind, your soul, your spiritual walk with God. You know, whatever it is, you need to find some time to heal, right? So that you can be a better person, a whole person. Once you are whole, by the time you find the right person, two whole people coming together, you know, it's going to make, you know, the relationship a whole lot better. You know, you also want to make sure that you don't carry baggage into your new relationship. I know all of us have baggage, you forget. We all have one or two experiences that we might have had in the past that are like, oh more, this thing really hurts me, sha. So it's making you like have your guard up, you know, you're always very careful, you're always very cautious, you're trying to be mindful of where you go, the kind of things that you do, the kind of people that you talk to and all that, you know, which is, I mean, we all have baggage, like I said, but if your own baggage is one that really hurts you to your soul, take some time to heal, okay, so that you don't go and affect the other person. The other person might be very innocent. The new person, the new boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or whatever the case may be, might be very innocent. They might love you genuinely, they might want the best for you, but if you don't allow them in, then there's no point. They will not be able to love you the way you deserve to be loved, right? So I feel like that's another thing that, you know, comes to mind. And the last thing that I want to say is that please remember that you are loved. Remember that you are loved. And what I'm talking about here is God's love, basically. Unconditional love. A love that He has even started loving us before we even thought about loving Him. Let me read something real quick. Romans 5 verse 8. It says, "But God commanded His love towards us, in that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us." Now, please, what more can anybody do to show their love than give their life for you? So you are loved, my dear. You are loved. Don't let anybody make you feel like, oh, you know, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm the one that is wrong, or maybe I'm the one that is making him angry or making her upset. Maybe I'm the one that needs to adjust. Maybe I'm the one that needs to shift. My dear, you don't always have to be the one that has to shift. You don't always have to be the one that has to adjust, because at the end of the day, a relationship, compromise me now, Abby. You need to compromise. You need to grow together. One person cannot be growing and the other person is staying at the back. You need to grow together, right? So, I mean, it's just something that came to my mind though, and I just feel like somebody out there needs to hear this. Heal your mind. Be okay mentally. Once you're okay mentally, I mean, other areas of your life can align, and also make sure that you have that connection with God. You are loved, my dear. God has shown you. That's the highest form of love that anybody can have for anybody, giving of their life. I'm sure if there are some husbands here now that can you die for your wife? I wonder what your answer will be. Or wives, can you die for your husband? Can you? What do you think? So guys, thank you so much for joining me on today's conversation. Thank you for watching. I hope you were able to pick up 1 or 2 things from today's video. Please always remember that you are loved. You deserve better. I think that's majorly the message. You deserve better. So I'll catch you guys some other time. Thank you for watching. I say some other time.